What's up, you beautiful peoples? How y'all doing? Mm, mm. Y'all know. And I tell y'all, you ain't gonna find other people that got just as it's all off the chart story times as me. Especially with certain experiences that y'all would think to yourself, even your mama will slap you upside your damn head a long time ago. I wanted to go and do a quick story time though, basically telling y'all about my first experience with a guy song. Y'all already know. For those of y'all out there, oh no, I'm not a nice person. I'm a good girl. I'm a good boy. I go to church. I don't believe in sex. So, yeah. Well, I came over to that, but in my case, it was more like a good girl gone naughty situation. Not so innocent either. Nobody's innocent. And nobody will ever be that good of a person. So, y'all know, a few years back, one of these boys I went to high school with hit me up in my DM. He basically was asking me like, hey, have you ever dealt quickie with anyone before? Are you a virgin? Or do you have somebody? Like, what's your situation? At the time, I had too much going on to even want to be committed to anybody. So, when I told him, single as a Pringle, never had no sneaky link or any of that, he was like, well, can I be a first? I'm like, what you mean, can you be a first? Like, don't you have somebody? At the time, he was fucking around with somebody I used to sometimes talk to in high school. Like, not on that type of level. Like, me and her were just real cool. But at the time, I was thinking to myself, like, is he trying to downplay me or think I'm, like, one of his other side hoes he can just push out the wedlock and think, like, boom, now I got the next hoe. So then, he was all to me like, well, you can always come to my crib and we can chill and get a little something going on. So then I'm to him like, it depends how far you are, because you know I don't drive. So told him, you better hope to yourself you somewhere close by. And then when he asked me where I was and I told him, then he was like, oh, believe it or not, I'm just right around the corner. I'm like, quit playing. He like, no, that is. And when he sent me the address, and I'm like, so the whole while I didn't even know that you wasn't even that far from me, as much as I used to see you around the time. And he like, well, that's also what happened when you a person that likes to keep to yourself and just don't ever know what others could do. Which I told him, well, I definitely can't argue about that statement, because that's very true, especially when you already indeed got other stuff going on. So then he was to me like, well, we can link up the next day if that's fine with you. And I was like, but how will I know if nobody will be home or catch it? He like, oh no, best believe my mom always be gone a few minutes early. And I was like, well, the fact that I get up early back then when I was, especially when I wasn't working or wasn't doing a lot and had what I had going on at the time, he was like, well, you can just come on by and we can just start you off real slow since this is gonna be new to you, which I told him, yes, you gonna have to just work with me because stuff like that is definitely so new to me and something that I had to get so used to. He's like, I'm sure you're gonna do good because even when I used to look at you in high school and I'm to myself, it's one thing that you already invited me to be a part of some little orgasmy party, but it's another for you to just been peeking me all the time like a whole little creep stalker. It's like as though you observe things, but he was like, but I can kind of feel you gonna do just fine by the way how you sometimes be acting and stuff. And I was like, who knows? That's only for that person to find out. So then he told me, well, you'll have to get up about so and so that she don't catch you. So then the next day when I got out, of course, as I'm getting up, putting my shoes and everything, getting my golf club, and then Granny, of course, always gonna be nose. He was like, where are you about to go? I'm like, I'm just about to take a little walk, you know what I'm saying? Walk around, come back. And she like, don't walk too far now. And of course, y'all know when your folks, especially your grandparents, tell you something deep down, even when you tell them, that can always turn into a in an instant. So, excuse me. So then, once he sent me the text and told me I can come on, I grabbed my golf club and I told her I was gonna be right back. And she said, I ain't playing, don't walk too far. So then, once I walked, so I had to walk a good 10 minutes to get to the house. Now, no, it was about close enough to 150 degrees, and I'm just taking that risk. No sun hat, no war, no nothing. I'm just out plain walking in the dried out, tore up clothes, just looking like one of them people out there. So before I arrived to his house, I hid under the bridge real quick, so just in case nobody could see me walking to his house. Like I told him, I don't know how your folks are, and being in the area we in, you don't never know how folks can turn that on you. So then after that, once I came in the house, the moment I stepped in, he instantly walked to the kitchen and told me, come here. So when I walked there and grabbed out my blindfold, he was like, I'm going to start you off slow until you get used. So then he got on the kitchen floor, ghetto, right? That's how I like it, though. And so then once he had laid down on the floor, and pulled down his pants and everything, then when I did my do after that, he was like, girl, you already passed the test. You already got your certificate. So then after that, he was like, well, I just wanted to start you off like, because I could tell he was Jerry and I was too, but it's like after a moment when I got much comfortable, I snatched that blindfold right off. So after that, he was like, can we meet up again so you can get more level? And I was like, yeah. And so after that, it was about a week after where the second time we did, it got a little bit more spiced up to where we got more and more comfortable just a tad bit. But it's like within the last few minutes when we was doing what we did, he got, when I say real comfortable, not comfortable enough, but just comfortable enough to where it was seeming like it was going to get somewhere. So then the third time, about a week or two afterwards, when we did one more time before things started getting iffy and jiffy between us, after that third time, then it's like we had our back and forth with a whole bunch of stuff. And then just for some few months later, for the nigga to be texting me under his girlfriend's profile pic, acting like he's her and everything, I eventually caught on to that it was him. And after that, that's when I blocked him. I told him we ain't gonna be on this page shit no more. And then it's the fact how it was another lady that must have known me from community college somewhere that was telling me before he texts her to tell her he want us to head back off again. Block the hell out because it was probably him under her too. But anyway, y'all ain't prepared for the first experience with a woman I had. It's probably gonna be at least 3, maybe 4 parts to that. And I'm gonna be up in the dark and I'm gonna be drunk for that one. Because it's going to get hella spicier. And y'all ain't going to even be prepared for any words that come out of my mouth with it. But yeah, this was just a little quickie something. Y'all ain't prepared.